G'day, welcome back to another episode of Reese's Reviews. Hold on,
we're back.
Hold on. Just dusting off the microphone.
Dust.
My name is Matt, and joining me on this podcast today, this episode, is if you spell Cashel backwards, it's Le Sac. And I'm just making it up as we go along. As you can probably tell by now, we just make it up as we go along. So, Le Sac, there we go. Reece
This
Cashel.
is very entertaining. Entertaining to see how you're just drowning right now.
I know. Don't worry, my name is Wetam, not Luff. See, I haven't thought of that before, have I? Anyway,
No.
we're back after a bit of a hiatus where Reece decided to, piss off ski to overseas for a couple of weeks for a holiday.
Yes.
Yeah, he's now returned.
Well,
I was going to
break.
fill in. Yep. And I thought as well, I might as well take that break too. So
Yeah. I ventured over to the States, one of my favorite places to visit, and just enjoy all the awesomeness of New York and Nashville, New Orleans, Orlando, Wilmington. It was just a fantastic trip, but I didn't go. I still watched a bunch of stuff whilst I was away. This is me. I always watched a bunch of stuff, so I got plenty of things to talk about. So
hey, our last episode before this one was all about Tron, and you managed to do a review in New York with that. So
yes, I did.
You watched it in there, and I watched it in Sydney. So
that experience was absolutely incredible, and just made me really be disappointed with Australia's cinema, because the American what they provide is so much more high octane the experience than what we have here. Like the sound quality, the cinema, the crisp of the visuals. It's so much better over there, and we're just so much behind on our technology and their experience of film.
Yeah, we tend to be behind the times.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, but speaking of behind the times, it's time to dig up some old stuff that, of what we've watched. Even though this started off as me critiquing the crap out of Reece with his film watching on posting up on Letterboxd. Nearly said LinkedIn for a moment there. It just ends up being a general review of movies, TV, and then whatever entertainment news honourable mentions in, so to speak. So, confession, none of us watched any movies for this episode. We watched TV shows.
We did. I've actually seen both. I'm
not counting your little, the ones that you set out to watch, not filler ones, if that makes sense.
No, that's brilliant. I always come to these episodes prepared, so I never come in to go going willy-nilly. I have watched some new releases, and as the recording of this episode, Predator Badlands has just come out. So I have seen that. So we'll be reviewing that on this one. There's also a nice teen drama, like a film that was just re-released called Regretting You. That will be reviewed as well. So there are some things we are going to review, and we're not going to do an episode without doing some entertainment honorable mentions as well. So we're going to package this in nicely and hopefully give you, our audience, an episode of some enjoyment.
All right, well, let's get into it, Reece, because I've also got one show to plug as well, which I watched. And so it's something to do with the world of tomorrow, but we'll get into that later. So Time for the honorable mentions, mate, the entertainment honorable mentions.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of things going in the entertainment industry when it comes to things going on, and I could use a whole episode just talking about entertainment honorable mentions, but we're not going to do that. I'm just going to maybe try and pick up one or two just to get our 2 cents on the fact. And I think one of the biggest ones at the moment is a return to a franchise that I've loved since I was a kid. And it is the announcement that Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz are coming back for a Mummy movie.
Yes, I read that too. And you know what I thought of straight away?
What's that?
Imagine if they blend the two of, you got the Brendan Fraser and the Tom Cruise one, right? So
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is the mummy that Brendan Fraser has to defeat, or the O'Connells have to defeat.
Oh God, please no.
And they just call it
Like,
the mummies.
yeah. Thing is, I don't think the Tom Cruise one is as bad as people say it is. There are some redeeming qualities of it, but I think Brendan Fraser put it very well. He did an interview a little while ago when he was asked point blank why he thought that the Tom Cruise Mummy movie didn't work, and his response to that I'm paraphrasing in some ways, but he pretty much said that that film delved too much into the seriousness and into the horror, where the Mummy movies need to have some sort of sense of adventure
Yeah, adventure and a
and
little
have
bit of
some
humor.
fun.
Yeah.
And his Mummy movies had that. Say what you want about the third one, but they all had that same tone and the same sense of fun and adventure. And I think that's they have a Mummy movie. Yes, you can try because the whole inception of the Mummy, just like the others in the of the monster universe of what Universal had with the Invisible Man, Dracula, Frankenstein. They were horror films back in the day, but they've been translated and adapted differently to a modern audience in today's thing. But against the Mummy, you need like I think I do agree. Brendan Fraser's Mummy provided that sense of adventure
Well, the
and
whole idea was that Universal were trying to start off
dark universe.
Dark Universe with their IP, which is all the Mummy, the Frankenstein, and
Yeah, Invisible
Invisible
Man.
Man. But
Yeah,
now, because of the flop that was the Mummy, then they have just released.
that is one of the biggest screw ups in studio history. The fact that they wanted to create a brand new a universe and did all this promotion about these upcoming films, but even before the first one came out, it was a huge error on their part. But I love this news. I think when you're growing up at the time that when their first movie came out, you're if I think if you're a woman, you fell in love with Brendan Fraser, and if you're a man, you fell in love with Rachel Weisz. And I just found like their chemistry was so undeniable, fantastic that you just fell in love with them. And
And
I
in the
can
third
like
one, it was Maria Bello because of scheduling issues with Rachel.
yeah,
Well, and the fact
yeah, I
that
think
she was pregnant too. So
yeah, I just think I also don't think that Rachel liked the script, which I can understand why. But it's just like I don't I this news made like put a big smile on my face. Like I love this franchise with Brendan Fraser. I just thought the character was made for him to do. I just think that it'd be interesting to see what they do with the plot, and I think that who they've got panned to direct the film is got me very excited. It's the directors who did Ready or Not, that indie horror film with Samara Weaving, and they also did a film a comedy or horror film. I think it was last year called Abigail, and that was a good bit of fun as well. So you've got these two guys who are known for horror comedies in a way, adapt and going into and delving into the Mummy, and having these iconic characters. You got to bring back the character of Jonathan. Like he makes that comedic duo between the three of them. I think
well,
that's
he's the
fantastic.
comic relief. He was
Yeah,
the comic relief. Yeah.
absolutely. So I really excited about this news. I cannot wait to learn more about what they're going to do with it. And Universal are doing everything they can at the moment with everything going on with how things are going with their studio. I cannot wait to see what they do with this.
Especially now with that Brendan Fraser is everyone's favorite internet or everyone's favorite person on the internet. So
Yeah,
yeah,
he's got a new
he,
film coming out in the next couple of months, which I'm very
he's
excited.
become extremely bankable, and because of all his Oscar wins and everything, it's just
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. After one performance, all it takes is like winning cures everything. All it took is one success film that he's done, which caused buzz, and he's back in the public eye. And like I said, like I just said, he's got a new movie coming up in the next couple of months, which I'm really intrigued to see. And that is even getting some good publicity and maybe some extra buzz for him to get another recognition by the Academy, which is very fantastic for him. I think he definitely deserves. He's very humble. From what I see on when him in on the interview circuit and things like that. He's very humble, so really looking forward to seeing what he gets.
one day he'll win his Oscar for Encino Man.
Or he can just give us a sequel to it.
Ah,
Who knows?
well.
Maybe this could be spawn the new generation of getting legacy sequels
Well, there was a sequel to Encino Man. It was Encino Woman or whatever it was called, Cave Woman, or I can't remember. It was just direct to video. Anyway, but
yeah,
for that, so just keep an eye out for the Mummy franchise returning. Now, there's
yeah.
also one more thing that is returning, and that is uh, song that no, it's not Superman, but he is no Superman, like the theme song. It is the return of Scrubs. So
Yeah,
the
the reboot's coming.
reboot, yeah, well, the sequel. So we're just going to ignore season 9. But even though it was okay, but it was a series which was forced or twisted creator Bill Lawrence's arm. And they said, "Oh, we want to continue." And he goes, "No, I wrapped it up perfectly with season 8." So yeah. Anyway, so they're returning. The old gang is back, minus one or two, mainly because one's passed away since.
Mm.
But that is Ted, lawyer Ted, Sam Lloyd, who is the nephew of Christopher Lloyd.
Oh,
So
nice.
other than that, yeah, so they're all returning, and they've already been posting stuff on social. So apparently we'll see the first episodes um, come February 2026.
I've
So,
never actually seen Scrubs.
oh mate, you'll love it. It's probably um, a little bit dated in regards to some of the sexist jokes. Not too much, but I can't
Right.
explain it. But it is, but it is, it holds up. So
Okay.
it's probably because if there might be some dated references or whatever, but you'll like it. You'll like it. So that's Zach Braff and Turk
I
Turkleton. What's his
know
name? Donald
one of the
Faison. Yeah.
lead actresses in it.
Sarah
She
Chalk.
play. You know who I'm talking about.
Sarah Chalk.
I don't
Elliot.
recall her name, but she played. I think she did a stint in How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, that was Sarah Chalk.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
She
recognize her.
plays
She pops
Elliot.
up in a lot of things. So.
Yeah, that's she plays Elliot Reed in Scrubs, and
Oh, nice.
JD's wife. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Cool. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. So that's my entertainment honorable mentions.
Beautiful. Well, I think I'll just round up with one more of my honorable mentions, and there's a few I could talk about. Like I could talk about they just released a teaser trailer for Michael. Huge Michael Jackson fan. I could talk about that. Scream 7 released their first trailer, but what I think I would want to talk about is that they've announced that it's they've announced it from certain avenues, which looks but I'll put this under the rumor category in a small sense because it hasn't been 100% confirmed, but everyone in the zeitgeist of entertainment has pretty much been confirmed by some of the sources within the production. But they're saying that we're going to get our first look of Avengers Doomsday when we go and see Avatar Fire and Ash. They're going to put the first trailer in front of Avatar Fire and Ash. So this film is supposed to be re-released in December 2026, so next year. So the fact there's a high probability we're going to get our first look of this film 12 months in advance. They're going to have a massive marketing campaign for this film because this film has so much riding on it. Like say what you want about the MCU, but either you love it or you're not really liking it at present. I think we both can kind of agree that the MCU is not in the most grandest space to be in right now. It is sometimes a bit more diversive when it comes to it, and there's a lot of things people don't like. Some people they are mixed opinions about. So it's not at the top degree of the amazing material that its usually would provide in the first three phases of the MCU. So the fact that they're going back to a huge bankable franchise that is the Avengers, where each film has grossed over $1 billion. There and the fact that now that they're releasing the next film in the Avengers franchise in a time that's completely different to what the other three were released. Sorry, the other four I do agree with the common trope of um what was the phrase I was thinking for? Because you can't undo a first impression, or is it
First
you,
impressions last, and don't judge a book by its
first?
cover.
I think first
Yeah, just first
impressions
impressions
matter.
last. Yeah.
Yeah, first impressions matter. You can't make it. You cannot give a second impression. Like first impressions are the one that matters. So this first look has to be bang on. You have to get your entire audience on board for this movie with this first trailer. It's that important. Like you got to get not just avid MCU fans on. You have to get um, regular, like general moviegoers on board for this film
Hmm.
because the amount of money they put into this film, what they're writing on it to try to boost the MCU to bring it back to form, is really, really important.
But
And
also,
the
don't
fact,
forget that you don't want. Remember when the fact that the Russo brothers, when they released trailers, they put in fake footage to misdirect. You've got to be aware of
yeah,
that too.
they amend footage as well. So you don't sometimes you are they do that. I think the biggest one I found was when they released a trailer for Infinity War when you had that last shot where
The
the
Hulk
Avengers are
running.
running. The
Yeah.
Hulk is running. That actual whole scene is not in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. It was done purely for the trailer. They filmed it, and it wasn't meant to be part of the movie at all. It was
Yeah.
a misdirection. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually really like I love the Avengers franchise, and I am really looking forward to seeing Doomsday, especially to seeing. I'm just really intrigued about the story and what they're gonna give. Like the fact that they've gotten this story, they're bringing back Robert Downey Jr. and making him be the main villain and as Doctor Doom. I'm really intriguing to see what story arc they're gonna do with this, and there's some speculation going on online where they kind of some people think that we're going to get three Avengers films in the next 2 years. Some people think that they're going to split Doomsday into two films and then they're going to go into Secret Wars in 2027. Some people think we're going to get two, like Doomsday's Part One and Part Two next year. I can see the merit in that because the Russo brothers do things very sneakily with their fans. They've released certain images and things like that. One second. Woo, bless me. Um, they release certain images, and some people thinking that there's certain images you can see three A's.
Oh, that's
I
just
went,
people's.
people. The good thing about the fandom of speculation is incredible to see what
Hey,
people actually
when
think
I had a look
about.
at it, there was a penis and a pair of tits. So
Well, yeah, like that could look
it's like a Rorschach test. You just see what you want to see.
and do what you want to do.
Yeah, be what you want to be. Yeah. Hey, look
But
at
yeah,
that. I see Superman popping up in there, or
yeah,
Howard. Yeah.
but but saying all that, like I am looking forward to Doomsday. I am very much intrigued about it. Like next year is going to be a good year, but I think 2027 is going to, I think we've talked about a number of episodes ago, but 2027 is going to be like one of the biggest years of films. But
Yep.
2026, we're getting Doomsday. So, and we're
Cool.
getting so a lot of things, but I'm so big. But what do you think about this kind of news? Like the fact that we're getting our first look at of Doomsday in front of Avatar. Like Avatar franchise has never had the biggest opening weekends. So I kind of think that having this also two Disney films, like both of these are productions of Disney, both Avatar and Avengers. The fact that you've got another Disney property put in front of Avatar, this could give a massive big boost to those opening weekends because everyone who's a fan of Avengers, which I think Avengers and of Avatar, they could be going for the same demographic of audiences. You have a lot of people, more people going to Avatar opening weekend to get their first look at Avengers Doomsday, if that's confirmed it's going to happen. So that's going to increase the box office for the opening weekend. So what do you think about all this?
Oh, I think it's going to be. It's the biggest sizzle. Disney just own the whole cinematic experience. Like there is no stopping them, and it just the fact that they dominate the highest grossing films of present time, not adjusting for inflation. They
Yeah.
can do whatever the fuck they want, and they know that people are going to lap it up, and I'm all for it.
Well, they are ruling at the box office at the moment. Like they're if not the one of the I think the biggest distributor. Most years out, they are probably the biggest distributor of films each year. Yeah, so I cannot wait to see what they're gonna what that first look is like. You can't undo your first impressions matter. So I'm if it is going to be on that, I'm going to be one of those people that's going to be opening weekend to see Avatar, not just to see like the Doomsday, but just to see Avatar. Like I can't wait. Your God has no dominion here. The Fire Na'vi, I can't bloody wait. It's going to be awesome. But to also get an extra bonus of a treat and get my first look at Doomsday, like can't. It's incredible. It's going to be an amazing experience.
All right, well, that's it for Entertainment Honourable Mentions. And we'll roll on to the first review of this episode. Reece, I'm going to put the spotlight onto you. And
as always,
yep, straight into your eyeballs.
No worries, mate. Well, thank you. Now I have seen a few new releases this coming week, so it really will come down to what's going to be more interesting for our audience. Now, I've seen two kind of films that are kind of steered towards one kind of demographic, and one more towards another demographic, completely different. Now, I like to accommodate not just one style demographic for our audience. I like to be open and then kind of give a bit to both. So I think I'll do one of each, if you allow me. One of them.
All right, that's the end of Reese's reviews.
And goodbye. We're gone.
Yes.
Cut.
Yep.
Cut. Okay. So I think the first one I will talk about is the one that just got released. As a recording of this podcast, this was released last week, and that is the newest film from Dan Trachtenberg. That is Predator Badlands. I love this franchise. I've always been a fan of it since I've seen the first one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I would say majority of all installments within this franchise I've actually quite enjoyed. There's one or two where I'm going, that wasn't great. I can see where they were going. They're trying to take some risks, but they just didn't execute it very well. I'm talking about you, Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Didn't know what the hell you did with that, but that was completely, oh, wow.
Was that bad. The one where the face hugger jumps and they do like a Matrix style rotation? Or is that just Alien vs. Predator?
It's talking about the one where their facehugger comes at the Predator and he chucks his disc at them and it cuts it in half.
I think so.
And it slows down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the first AVP.
Okay, yep, cool.
Yeah, the second one is when they have the mutant xenomorph predator thing, and it's bad. It's pretty bad. But Dan Trachtenberg, I find he's on it. This is what I find is good when it comes to studios. When they got something of 20th Century Studios are doing a fantastic job with this franchise, but they've given it to a guy who is passionate. He loves the franchise. He knows what he's doing, and he has a clear vision. He knows where he wants to end up. Now, Dan Trachtenberg gave us Prey. That is one of the best Predator movies I've seen since the original. I would say that it was on par with the original. I loved it that much. Then he did an amazing job. He actually then brought us the animated Predator movie called Killer of Killers, which another film that I just lapped up. I absolutely loved that installment. And now he's bringing us this one, Predator Badlands. And he's done it again. I loved this installment. It was completely different. They opened the world of Predator and showed us something completely different. They shot a film where the Predator is the protagonist. He's the leader of the film.
Making him
and
the hero.
That's never happened before. Predator's always been the bad guy. He's always been the villain that the humans want to defeat. There is no humans in this movie.
Well, when you think about it, he's only named Predator because you're interfering with his home. So when
not in the other films, like usually he's always come down because the whole premise of the race of the alien race, it is part of the way they build that way they get honor is to hunt and kill something that is inferior to them. That's their purpose. And this film follows the same line. Like the film it's based around, which is Deck, which is the name of the Predator, he is like kind of a runt of the family. He's not taken seriously. He's like a weakling to the family, which they want to get rid of and things like that. And he wants to go and prove himself. And the way they do himself in this species is you accept the challenge to go hunt and kill a species or something that's above outside of your you think what you can do, and you got to get a trophy to bring that back.
Yeah.
And they've actually used this one as a stepping point into the actual world of this species of alien of predator, and they're giving a language that the predator actually talks throughout it in his own alien language. And then you bring in the human aspect, but not the human aspect, because all the Elle Fanning character is a synth. She's a Wayland Yutani synth, like an android from the Alien franchise. So, which is where people are getting this lovely speculation that we're going to get another Alien versus Predator, because you've
It
got
sounds like a potential more franchise, more movies,
setup.
more of a trilogy type thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the fact that the last couple of years we had like you said, we had Prey, and then we had Alien Romulus, we've had Killer of Killers, we had Alien Earth on Disney Plus. Now we've got this. It's like they're really putting people in charge at 20th Century Studios who love these franchises. It's just amazing to see, like, these people who are just rich in story, and it's incredible to see. So with this one, like, it's completely different tone in a way. Like, you still got the Predator and things like that, and I found a lot of people were finding that this one, that because this was a lowered rating, like here in Australia, this is rated M. This is the first film in this franchise that's rated M. And a lot of people were worried about that. They're going, no, Predator has to be rated MA. We need the blood and guts. We need them killing humans. And I went, no, you don't. It's all about changing things up and expanding on the lore and finding different things to go into. And this one does it. Like, there is a lot of action and there's a lot of brutality in this movie. Like, there's people getting, like, he chops things up and things like that. But the only difference is he's not chopping up humans and blood's not going everywhere. It's different alien species on this most deadliest planet in the
So,
universe.
so he's been basically like an outcast of his
He is.
own.
He's a
Yeah,
he's a runt of the family kind of thing, and he has to prove himself. He's going to this planet that's deadly, and the most deadliest planet in the universe, to hunt down this creature that even his father,
yeah,
who Deck's father, couldn't defeat. Now, I don't want to go into too much of a spoiler territory because this film is still out in theaters, and I don't want to give too much of spoilers. But I found that the performances by Elle Fanning were a standout. She did a fantastic job. The New Zealand actor who played the Predator, played Deck, did a fantastic job in the suit, which pays homage to the original. That there was no CGI when it comes to the Predator; it's all in an actual body suit, which
yeah.
is fantastic. It's
All
all
practical.
physical,
Yeah,
all practical effects, which is amazing. The cinematography was done very beautifully. Like, you know they're going to use CGI with these kind of films, but you don't really notice it that much. It's very much, you can tell where they blend live action shooting, on location shooting, with the CGI so flawlessly. It is beautiful. The action set pieces are done really fantastically, and it's opened up just this new world of showing that there we can have a protagonist as a predator, and you get behind him. You have an emotional tie with it, and just it definitely provides some sort of this a emotional tie, not just to a human character, which has also been what the other parts of the franchise gives, but now we're getting an emotional tie to an actual predator, which
yeah.
is something very different. So
Kind of like when they did the Book of Boba Fett, like brought him back because he was the enemy in
yep.
Star Wars. Not the strongest of enemies, but knew that he was against um, the person that we were cheering for, and that
Mm.
was Han Solo. And then so they've did the spotlight on him and made him just like, oh, he's not such a bad guy after all. He's just trying to,
Yeah, they
life.
always. I think it's
Same.
sometimes it works when you try to redeem a villain and turn him into the hero. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Hmm,
So, but I just found like this film didn't make it. I didn't start off with making him look like the villain. He was always like, this entire film was just done in the perception of this character Deck. So
Yeah.
I I
So,
thoroughly enjoyed this film. I
so
thought it
what?
was
What?
done
So what do you give it out of 5?
4 stars.
4 stars.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's I think I'm finding myself getting a bit more critical these days. Like it has to be like a big tall order for me to give a film 5 stars. Like I can't. I have to walk out of a film pretty much saying I can't fault it.
Hmm.
If I'm giving a film 5 stars, I can't fault it in a way. So, but if I give it less than 5 stars, then there are some things you can do. Like I find sometimes a reason why I wouldn't give this one 5 star with like this film's not going to be any Oscars for one of the best films of the year. It's not going to be any Oscars for screenplay of the year. But the fact that Dan Trachtenberg was able to adapt this film and bring something completely fresh, completely new, and just shown a different light, different, and just into this universe was so fantastically made. And I feel like anyone who enjoys this franchise will get a kick out of it. Anyone who doesn't really know, it doesn't hasn't seen any of the other Predator movies, you can still watch this movie.
Cool.
You don't have to watch any. There's no homework that you have to do with this film. You can go in completely blind and have a fun time. It's a good sci-fi adventure action flick, and
It's
there's no language barrier. There's like excessive language because it's rated M. The action's it's very tame. Like you're getting creatures cut up, but you don't. It's not like you see big alien guts and things are flowing everywhere because it's still rated M. So it has that sci-fi action tame kind of feel to it. So if you want a good adventure, fun adventure, then I would recommend Predator Badlands. Um, what's your mindset on the Predator franchise? I know you haven't seen Badlands, but
I haven't
have you
seen
had?
all of them. I haven't even seen the reboot, like the one that was out a couple of years ago.
Prey.
No, no, not Prey. The one before that, which
The
with
Predator.
the Predator with Olivia Munn, and then I haven't seen Prey at all. But I only seen the first original classic, and
Yep.
then and obviously Alien versus Predator, and that's it. So it's just
We're gonna have to start
I
making a
could
list.
I will.
I think we're gonna do. I had this with my friends. I'm gonna write a list on my letterbox. I'm gonna call it the My Geek Culture list, and I'm gonna place films in that list that you and I would have to sit down and watch together. And I'm gonna put Prey and Killer Killers on that list for us to watch.
All
I'm
right.
not going to suggest you have to go through the entire franchise if you don't want to, but at least watch Dan Trachtenberg's vision of Prey and Killer Killers, and then we can lead
No,
into watching this one.
it sounds interesting. It is a movie that I would like to watch.
Okay,
So yeah, so you've not convinced me. I'm already intrigued by it. So I will put it on my watch list and then report back later on.
nice, nice,
Yay!
cool.
Cool.
Okay, that is Predator Badlands.
Now I've got one quick review which I'll just squeeze in.
Ooh, yes,
I,
please bring it on.
very
No,
quick
no,
one. No, no,
take.
no, because I don't have much to say with it,
Cool.
other than because if you're not watching Futurama by now, like like the return, the new season. I apparently it's like season 10, but I think it's like season 12 or whatever. Anyway, the
Yeah,
most recent season at the time of this recording, they've it's great. They're all back. I was in stitches with a lot of jokes.
hmm.
Like to me, the previous season of Futurama was very too close because there'll be like all this COVID type references and all that.
Yeah,
But this one, what they've done is every time Futurama gets rebooted, there's always they start off with a quick joke or whatever. It's like, hey, we're really born again or whatever. And then the final episode tends to be, Leela and Fry together and, off to wherever the adventures goes. Like, it's always romantic. This
yeah,
time, they're just like not even bothering. It's just like going straight into it. And then the season, they've wrapped it up in a decent way. But it, like nothing memorable, but it was funny, very nerdy, very math like type things. So if you're a fan of Futurama, you'll love this season. So yeah, high ratings out of that. They've and the fact that they brought it back again.
yeah.
Yep, they've got plenty more stories, and yeah, Zoidberg is still my favorite. Will always be my favorite. So yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to squeeze that in. So if
No,
you
please, yeah.
yeah, I,
I've never actually watched Futurama, but this is also from the person who never watched The Simpsons either. So
oh, mate, it's Futurama. So many various references. There's stuff that goes over my head, and
Yeah.
then later on I go, "Oh, I get that reference," or whatever.
Like
So
that Captain American meme. Captain American meme. I understood
I
that
understood
reference.
that reference exactly.
Yeah, like when I was in the States with my friend, he is a huge. I think you are the biggest Simpsons fan I've ever had in my life, but he's just as much of a Simpsons fan. And watching him walk through Simpsons Land and Universal Studios, he was like a kid in a candy store, which was
Oh, mate, you
so
know what
fun to
I'm
watch.
currently doing? I'm being the old daggy uncle, and I'm currently playing Fortnite on my PS5.
Cause they
And
brought Simpsons into
yeah,
Fortnite.
I'm addicted to that, and now I'm being beaten up by kids. I'm pretty sure of it. So,
That's awesome.
and you're saying like the daggy uncle, my nephew, who is 18, and he's going, "Oh, why are you playing Fortnite for?" And I'm going, "Well, it's Simpsons." So it's
Yeah.
and it's really really cool. Anyway,
So
I
yeah,
hope hopefully they do a Futurama one, and I'm all for that as well.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like with the Simpsons, like it was. It's always been. I think Simpsons has a lot more hold in pop culture than what Futurama does. But
Of
I
course, yeah.
just like
Well,
coming out of Universal Studios with my friends and my wife. Like I know what it's like now for me because when I make quotes because my mate and my wife were quoting Simpsons through the entire trip and it was going straight over my head. I had no idea what they were saying, and they were just making all these quotes, and it got worse when we got to Universal Studios. And I was like, okay, all right. And then they were pushing, goes, Reece, you have to watch The Simpsons. And then my mate and my wife goes, just at least watch the first 10 seasons. They get crap after the season 10. So just watch the first 10 seasons. You'll get a lot. You yourself will find a lot of the references funny as hell. And I went, well, good thing is I got Disney Plus, so I can catch up on the 10 seasons of Simpsons. So maybe when I've eventually got a hold of my watch list, I might delve into a few episodes of Simpsons here and there.
and also while you're at it, watch Futurama.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Just add another one,
there's
add another series to
so
my
many
list that has
sci-fi,
13 seasons.
Star Wars, Star Trek references, Predator references, like a lot of references, mate.
Jeez,
Cool.
okay.
Uh, all
Uh,
right. So, other than Futurama, get onto it. If you were in doubt of watching the latest season, it's strong, it's back, and it's awesome.
awesome. That's good to hear. So that's a good thumbs up from the big man, Matthew.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm going to change things up. Like I recently watched Frankenstein with Guillermo del Toro, but I might save that for another episode. But
Sure.
I want to go a bit of a change of pace than what I just did with Predator Badlands. And this is a film that just got released a few weeks ago, towards the end of last month, and it's a romantic kind of teen drama, but also adult themed drama as well. And it's based off a book, and it's
Yep.
a film called Regretting You. Now, this is a film I'll kind of be quite intrigued about. The novel that this film is based off is based on the author also did a film wrote the book It Ends With Us, which a few years ago, I think last year they released a film It Ends With Us with Blake Lively, and
Hmm.
that did very very well. And I actually quite really enjoyed that movie It Ends With Us, even with the subject matter of what that film's about. And this one has definitely has um, elements of um, not what's the word heavy tones. It has heavy tones to it. Not as heavy and in your face as what It Ends With Us is, but it still does provide you with a bit of a tone. Now, I'm not going to. This is not a spoiler because this was shown in the trailers. I always think so. It was in the trailers, so it's not a spoiler. The whole premise behind this film is that you have um, this. It's centered around a mother and daughter primarily, Morgan and her daughter Clara. And what happens in eventuality of Morgan and her sister and grew up with these two guys from high school who end up who be played by Dave Franco and
Yep.
also played by Clint Eastwood's son Scott Eastwood. And eventually, when they grow up, Morgan and Clint Eastwood's Scott Eastwood's character they get married, and then Dave Franco and the sister of Morgan they get married when they grow up, and then eventually what happens is the husband and the sister die in a car crash, and it's all about the aftermath of that and the griefs and circumstances wine and things that they thought they knew didn't come aren't true, and secrets start coming out between the relationships between everything, and so it's all about that. And then it also centers around Clara and the a young guy from her school she's had a crush on for a long time called Miller, which is so and Clara are played by McKenna Grace and Mason Thames.
Mhm.
Mason Thames we recently saw in the live action How You Train Your Dragon. He's also in right now Black Phone 2 and Regretting You. Now I found this part of trivia very interesting. All three of these films from Mason Thames all opened to number one, and they all got released this year.
Yeah.
Now, this is the first time since the 90s where one actor has had three films open up in 1 year or have gone to number one at the box office.
Oh,
Do you know who that person in the 90s was?
in the 90s.
Yeah. Who had three films open up in 1 year, all open to number one. Put you in the spot now?
Yeah. Tom Cruise,
Nope.
Mel Gibson,
Nope.
Brad Pitt.
Nope. Do you want a hint? He's
Yeah.
Canadian.
Michael J. Fox.
No.
Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. There you are.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey. So he had The Mask, he had Ace Ventura, and he had Dumber and Dumber. All
Yeah.
come out in the 1 year, and all three of them went to number one. Mason Thames is the first film since that year where he's had three films open up in the 1 year, all went to number one.
Well, there you go.
So that was a good bit of trivia for our audience there. But when it comes to this film, I enjoyed it. I get when it comes to this film, I enjoyed it. I thought the themes were executed well. The tone was definitely set out towards. I found the pacing sometimes a bit of a jarring at times because that really didn't do well with the editing, how they edited it when it comes to putting certain scenes in and putting and way that was done. And they needed either some scenes needed some more room to breathe, and some scenes didn't need to be there or needed to be shortened a bit. Some of the dialogue was a little bit wooden, a bit enforced sometimes. But the one thing this film excels at is the performances. The entire cast brought it. They did a fantastic job. This whole film rides on the shoulders of the two leads, which is the mother and daughter of McKenna Grace,
Mm-hmm.
and the actress who plays her mother, Morgan Grant, played by Alison Williams, who I recently saw in the Megan franchise. She's the mother, the main auntie in that franchise. So I saw her in that, and then I saw her in this, which is great. Change of pace. So you've also got Dave Franco doing a great job. You've got Willow Fitzgerald in here as well. Scott Eastwood, like I said, Clancy Brown makes an appearance in it as well. So it is a heartwarming film, and I think the whole emotional side of things does carry on Morgan and Clara's relationship, but you also got the relationship between Clara and Miller. And being a hopeless romantic myself, and just loving love and loving being romantic and just loving these kinds of films, I really got attached to Clara and Miller's relationship. And what I find they ended this film so beautifully with this one scene, and between like the entire cast is there, and it's based around Miller and Clara, and it is a beautiful scene that ended, and it just makes your heart flutter, and it's done beautifully. And I think McKenna Grace and Miller Adams' chemistry, the fact that they're dating in real life, you can tell because it shows on screen the way that they interact with each other, the way the romance intertwines within this narrative of the story, and things like that. It's done very very well. I found, even though I haven't read the book, I found that the screenplay was adapted as best as it could be. It
Yeah.
wasn't done. Like I said, it was well executed, but there are some times it was a bit. The dialogue wasn't fantastic. Um, but where it stands out on this footing is the performances between the characters, and you really get behind them, and you really feel for them. And when secrets start to unravel throughout the story, you really feel the emotions behind those secrets coming out. So I thoroughly enjoyed the film. I wouldn't rate it high. I gave it 3 stars on my letterbox, so it gave it a big. It definitely gives a thumbs up. it's a film that you don't think you could watch like on like a yearly watch, but every few years you can put it on and still get enjoyment out of it, and just to come back to hang out with the characters and just those relationships between them all. So that is my 2 cents on the film. I thought it was done, executed well. I found reading some of the reviews, some people aren't really liking it when it comes to a lot of the adapting in the characters and how they shot certain things. But I still thought it was an enjoyable film to watch, and it definitely delivered on what I wanted out of it. I wasn't expecting to have any Oscar-worthy screenplays or performances and things like that, but it was the the what's the word I'm looking for? The tone of the film is there, and
Hmm.
you've got this small scale. The fact that it's just centered around these mainly centered around these 4 to 5 characters. So it's not a huge grand story of romance. It's just based around this one town, about 4 or 5 characters, and that's it. And it delivers on that aspect, which is what you need for this kind of film. So I found it worked in that aspect. So I probably I would take it on to you. I would assume you probably never heard of this film. Would that be right to say?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that would be the case. I thought that would be the case. So, but it's definitely. Are you into like teen dramas and romance and those kind of films? Or
uh,
you don't lean into that very
no,
often?
I don't lean into it, unfortunately.
That's okay.
I'm more old school stuff that I grew up on.
Like what?
So, like all your stuff from the 80s and 90s.
So you're
So,
referring to things like
Breakfast Club,
Breakfast
16
Club,
Candles.
16.
Uh,
Yeah. So you're
yeah,
also thinking like You've
She's All
Got
That.
Mail and you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, You Got Mail,
Sleepless in
Sleepless in
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Yep, American
Okay.
Pie. So yeah,
Yeah.
coming of age type. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
anything now, I just don't. Yeah, it just doesn't interest me.
Is that because you don't actively go out looking for it, or you just that style of film, you're not in that demographic to watch those kind of
I'm
films
just not
anymore?
in that demographic to watch it.
Okay.
So it is. It's just not me.
You got
It
yeah.
doesn't appeal to me. I'm sure it's like this great kick-ass movie and whatever, but I if it
I
was
wouldn't
on
say it's a
TV.
kick-ass movie, but it is enjoyable, and for people who enjoy the genre, and if you're not a genre person when it comes to the teen drama
Oh
and that kind of stuff, then you're not. This film's going to be not going to be directed towards you.
no, I'm just not into it. It's not. I'm not in its core audience.
Yeah, and that's okay. Like I was saying, films are subjective. They all are made for different people, and that's the saying. You are. I think in the same category as my wife. You are a general moviegoer. You're not one who goes out to movies every week. So when it comes to you
But
going to
hey,
the cinema,
then
you have
again,
to.
I'm always trying to encourage you to watch exploitation movies.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
saying, but it
So
also comes down to I think you has to for you to venture to the cinema, just like my wife and some other people that I know,
mm,
that it has the marketing has to at least grab you enough to give you that pull drive going, you know what, I this looks great, I want to see what happens, and you takes you to the movies. If you've got something that goes then you are part of that demographic where you're going, I'm just gonna wait for it to come to video on demand and streaming because it doesn't warrant me spending money to go out and watch it. So it has to be a certain style of film or a blockbuster to get you to go out and see it, which my wife is like that. So it has to be a certain caliber of film to get her to
yeah,
come out. And this is hers, like the one thing her and
it's
I
kind
can
of
do together.
it's kind of like what's that movie? Someone Like You. No, what's the one that Glenn Powell and
Oh, anyone but you.
Anyone But You? Yes, there you go. Like it's just like that where it's that would be part of my demo or whatever target, but I just don't care.
Yeah,
And plus, I think Sydney Sweeney's a little overrated, so
I think she's hot. I think she's hot.
it
But
doesn't matter.
at the
It's
same time, I think Glenn Powell's hot too. So he's hot. He's a
yeah,
hot man too. But let's say this genre of films is the one like guarantee where I can show something like this to my wife, for example, and she'll go, yeah, that looks pretty good, and we'll go see it together.
yeah.
So there are those kind of things. So I
It's a
think
date movie.
yeah, it is. These are designed to be date movies, just like you said, anyone but you and style films like that. They are designed for those date kind of movies, for chick at a flicks kind of film when you take your girlfriends and things like that. So I'm part of a very small demographic in the world where I could see myself if my partner or friends did not want to see it, I could still see myself sitting down and watching this by myself. But that I'm a huge filmography lover, so I watch all genres as much as I can and get a scope of everything. So, but that's just me personally. So, I still gave this movie a thumbs up. Like I said, 3 stars on Letterboxd. And if you are wanting to have a nice time at the cinema with some good tones, some drama, and some great young love to keep you a little bit inspired about not being so alone and finding your spark in young love again, then this film could provide that to you. Especially that the ending scene is very, very beautiful when it comes to young love and things like that. So
Cool.
that is my 2 cents on Regretting You.
All right. Well, we've reached the end. Wow, who would have thought of this episode of Reese's Reviews, mate? You just stuffed it full of popcorn and choc tops, and you just kept cramming it in with Slurpees. And now we're finally going to expel it after we've gone.
We're just going to put our head full into a box full of M&Ms and Maltesers.
Yep, done. Let them melt. Again, thank you for waiting, especially us being on a random hiatus. But now we're back.
We're back. The boys are back.
Yes, and feel free to email us info@mygeekculture.com.au. And also, just thank you for liking, following, subscribing, etc., and look forward to more reviews of TV, movies, and just general entertainment overall. So
yeah,
Reece,
things
are
constantly evolving on this podcast. Things are changing. Some things might be coming up we might have a change coming up soon in the next couple of weeks. So keep tuned in. And yeah, like Matt said, any feedback, any commentary, as long as it's positive, give it to us. If it's negative, we're not going to watch it. We're not going to listen to it or read it. So give it to yourself. But we're always open for encouragement for watching new things. And so please give us your recommendations. Maybe we can get Matty to talk a bit more in the next couple of episodes about things he's watched.
I will. I'm catching up. All right.
I'm just breaking your balls.
Thanks, mate. This has been Reese's Reviews for My Geek Culture, mygeekculture.com.au, produced by Matt Fulton Productions, mattfulton.com.au. I'm Matt, as I said, and Reece, you're Reece.
I am Reece. Please be kind to yourself. Give yourself some good thoughts. You are amazing out there. And as above always, may the force be with you.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Hey, Baseball 2 is coming.